Well, guys, it's been 35 years since Jason took Manhattan.
The term deranged sociopath gets thrown around a lot by the media, but it really applies to my next guest. Please welcome Jason. I saw the new movie, Jason Takes Manhattan. You killed 16 people, and you were responsible for the death of 8 others. Total, that's less than what you usually kill in a movie. Are you getting soft? Are you losing a step? I'd like to thank you for coming by. It's a pleasure. Jason, ladies and gentlemen.
What is going on, guys? This is Cinema Maniac Central. My name is Chris, and this is my review for Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. So real quick, before I get into my thoughts on Jason Takes Manhattan, you'll notice what I'm wearing here. It is one of 3 new shirts that I bought this morning. I went to Walmart this morning to check out some shorts and shorts for exercising, and so I was looking at some hoodies, and I spotted a Michael Myers hoodie. Then I turned my head and I saw some shirts. The first one that caught my eye was this beautiful Halloween 2 shirt here, Michael Myers. And I was like, man, this thing is fucking beautiful. Just in time for the spooky season, man, I knew I just had to have it. And then a few shirts behind it, I found this Chucky one right here. And doesn't it look pretty? I mean, this thing looks fucking awesome. I was like, yep, I gotta have that. And then, as coincidence would have it, today is the 35th anniversary of Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I seen a couple of Friday the 13th shirts. I saw one that looked pretty cool. But it didn't have my size. There were a couple sizes too big for me. So, and then I looked behind it and I found this one right here, and it's got. I thought this would actually look better. It's got Friday the 13th, Jason Lives up here, and some other things, and they got the old classic poster from the original. And I was like, you know what? I gotta have it. It's got my size, so I'm gonna get it. So I got these 3 shirts. And I was like, you know what? This is the best $55 I ever spent. So yeah, I love these things. I love shirts like this. They're comfortable. And so yeah, head out to Walmart, pick up 1, 2, hell, 3 or 4 of these. I love these things. Anyway, back to Jason Takes Manhattan. So the basic premise here is you have a group of high school graduates are taking their class trip to New York on a cruise ship. And so, and Jason has been resurrected once again, and he stows away onto the ship, and he begins on the way to New York, he begins to pick off everyone one by one. So, and then eventually they get to New York, and then the horror just carries over into New York for the little bit of time that we have there. But the truth of it is I think that this movie is a little bit overhated. And I know that it's considered a low point in the franchise. But for me, honestly, I just don't think it is. I don't think it's as bad as people like to make it out to be. And in my opinion, for me, I don't think there is a really bad Friday the 13th movie. They're all entertaining to me. They're all watchable. And if I have a least favorite, to be honest with you, it was one I actually didn't care for at first when I first saw it, but I've grown to appreciate it more. It's Friday the 13th: A New Beginning, for obvious reasons. It's the only one where Jason is not the killer aside from the original, and that's the thing that one tries to do, is basically just copy the original. But I've grown to appreciate it a bit more and really enjoy it too. But yeah, it's only because Jason is not the killer, in that movie, and it's just compared to the original. I know that's the case in the original, but the original was better made. So But anyway, but yeah, I think Jason Takes Manhattan, I think, gets too much hate, and I don't think it deserves it. And there are a few things to like about it for me anyway. Starting off with the positive. So first off, I like the ship setting. Well, as much criticism as it gets for not having enough time in New York City, I like the cruise ship setting because it gives you a feeling of isolation, that fear, not being able to go anywhere and you're stuck there. If you're out in the middle of the ocean or, you're a long way from shore, where the hell are you going to go? Unless you know how to swim and can swim for miles to get away, you're stuck there. So I like that. And so yeah. Performance wise, honestly, I like our final girl. I like Jensen Daggett, who plays Rennie. I think she's really good. I loved her in Major League Back to the Minors with Scott Bakula. She's in that. She's had appearances on Home Improvement. I like her in that too. Scott Reeves, who plays Sean, he was casted at the last minute after the previous actor that they had cast, which I don't know who that was, had zero chemistry with Jensen Daggett. So I think the chemistry that they have is actually pretty solid, and you actually kind of care about the characters and hope that they get out alive because you can instantly tell that there's some chemistry there, a little romance there. The kills are actually pretty solid. The best kill, hands down in this movie is Julius getting his head knocked off in one punch. That's the best scene, the best kill in this movie. And when it comes to I like to make a list of some of the victims that don't deserve to die. And of all the people that died in this movie that got killed, for me easily, I think the ones that didn't deserve to die is Eva, played by Kelly Hu, this was her film debut. And honestly, I don't think that she deserved to die. If you had to give her any kind of criticism, it was the fact that she was hanging out with Tamara. And Tamara, played by Charlene Martin, who's one of those and secondary villains alongside Peter Mark Richmond, who played Charles McCulloch. And she's one of those characters you just don't like. That she is just completely unlikable. She's a bitch. And basically how she uses Wayne to blackmail Charles into passing her. And so yeah, she's a user, she's a bitch, she deserved what she got. So yeah, but Kelly Hu's character, Ava, she didn't deserve to die. And I wish we could have seen her more, because the only time you actually see her is when she's with Tamara, and then when she discovers her body, and then Jason is chasing her into the restaurant, and that's where we get that weird teleportation thing where he's one place, and then the next second he's somewhere else in there, and it's really strange. It's really, I was like, when did Jason have the ability to teleport? So, but I guess I didn't think that he was supernatural. I thought he was just a zombie, but by this time, so. The score. I love the score. Yeah, at the very beginning, the opening song, Darker Side of the Night, performed by Metropolis. Love it. I love that song. It plays at the beginning and the end of the movie, so awesome song. But that's pretty much it for my positives. Moving on to the negatives, you have, like I said before, I've already mentioned this. When it comes to unlikable characters, you got Tamara, played by Charlene Martin. You have Charles McCulloch, played by Peter Mark Richmond, who plays the principal and the uncle to Rennie. Both of them are pretty much despicable. It's revealed, that Charles pretty much basically tried to get Rennie killed by forcing her to learn how to swim, and she pretty much about drowned, and Jason pulling her under. So yeah, he's not a really likable person, and it's the way he kind of treats the students and everything is just pretty shitty. He uses his position as a principal to kind of, show more authority than he needs to. As far as Tamara goes, she's just a bitch. She uses Wayne to get what she wants, to get Charles to pass her and everything. And it's terrible. She's a terrible person, and she got what she deserved. Which kind of brings me to my next point, and that's some of the kills that are off screen. Like, for instance, Tamara's. We don't see her get killed. I mean, we see him shove that shard of glass into her, but the camera is above it, so we don't see what happens. And I'm pretty sure that when there was a cut, where when the movie was edited, that there was a wider shot of Tamara's body when Eva discovers her, and we really just kind of see like her face for the most part, and part of like maybe her back, I think. But I think there was like a more wider shot. That one dude who gets impaled with the lava rock in the sauna. That's a cool death. I like that. And then of course Julius getting his head knocked off. That's, like I said, that's the best kill in that movie. And so, yeah, I mean, like I said, some of the kills are off screen, which is kind of disappointing, you know. So we want to see that. But and again, the biggest negative, which I share it with everybody else. But like I said, there are some pros to the whole ship thing, the ship setting, as I explained already. So, but yeah, the other negative side of that is the limited time we get in New York. You know, they don't get to New York till about an hour and 15 minutes in, and we only have like 20 more minutes left until the credits roll. And so, yeah, they really kind of compress that time in there for when they get there and basically are trying to get help, and then Jason kills the cop, and then kills Julius, kills Charles, then kills the drug dealers, and it all happens within about 15 minutes time. And so, yeah, they really kind of compress that, and it sucks that we didn't get more screen time in New York City. Like I said, there was a part, and what's funny is that, you know, at the very beginning of the movie, we get, you know, shots of New York where he was supposed to be. You know, you get the Brooklyn Bridge shot, you get the Statue of Liberty, and we get Times Square, of course, which we see him in Times Square, but it's very brief. Basically, when he's basically following Rennie and Sean. So, yeah, it's really disappointing, you know, that we didn't get a lot more time in New York. But overall, guys, I mean, Jason Takes Manhattan. I mean, for me, it's still entertaining. You know, it definitely has its flaws. Like I said, I don't think that it's as bad as people like to perceive it to be. Kane Hodder, you know, he returns for the second time after Part 7, and I think that he still does a really good job as Jason. He has that physicality, that aggressive physicality. By this time, you know, by Part 7 and here now, he's, you know, Jason is bigger, he's hulking, and so I think he really knows how to bring that, and he's a lot more aggressive when it comes to his kills, you know, especially like the lava rock kill, and when he kills Charles. And so, yeah, I think Kane Hodder is terrific here. But yeah, despite its flaws, I still find it to be entertaining, but I totally recognize why it gets criticized the way it does. So for me, Jason Takes Manhattan is not the worst in the franchise, but I still enjoy it. That's just my thoughts on Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. If you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Don't forget to check out Walmart and get some of these shirts. These things are fucking awesome. Also, I'll have a link for my review for the original Friday the 13th, as well as Part 2 at the end of this video. Right, it should be around here any second now. So, I love you guys. You guys are the best, and I will see you next time.